Good morning, everyone. It's Tess, and today is, I think I said 2:38, which is kind of ironic because that's more days than what this day is related to Doc V. Like I said, I've been looking back at notes and stuff, and I started revisiting things because of my power out. And today I was looking at day 238, which was Doc V's challenge from. It was Doc V's day 221, and it went back to November of 2020. And what's kind of ironic, it is kind of funny, I'm more days into this than he was at that time. However, the doc is like 540 or 545 days in now. Good morning, Thomas. So today I thought I was just going to revisit. I use this as a time just to keep myself accountable and keep myself in my journey. And I use it also as a time to kind of revisit some of Doc V's stuff because he's had a lot of great information out there. Oh, CBS. Are we not supposed to be watching the news? I know that's the Doc V thing. There's a lot of storms going on. I'm not sure what area you're in, but I know some of the people from the challenge and some family members of mine are out on the East Coast where all the storms are going through and the flooding is coming through. So I'm hoping everybody's safe during this time. Now today I'm going to actually talk about Who Are You, which goes back to Doc V's October 2020. Ironically, my parents' anniversary, but day 221. So what this is talking about is he was kind of telling us to take a look at our lives, and he was, even in these days, he was talking about like 5 mottos to live by. And this particular day, he was saying joyful, energetic body. But in the video, it was Who Are You? In the video that he gave us that day, it kind of made us look at things, and it was kind of talking to us about if you gained weight as you got older, who are you really? Are you about that weight you gained, or are you about the person that you are inside? And he was kind of asking us to take off a mask that too often we kind of live outside of who we are on the inside, and that we don't really know ourselves on the inside. And he at that time he was talking a lot about taking off the mask, getting real, digging deep, and finding out who you really are. And he was kind of telling us and talking to us about how do you find out who you are? How do you dig deep? And to dig deep, it's about getting quiet, which is our meditation part and our gratitude part. It's about kind of calming down and letting the outside sources disappear so that you can come to who you are. And that being quiet helps you to release the monkey brain. It helps you to release all the voices on the outside. And what I mean is that we have television, we have friends, we have family members, we have our own self-doubts, and all that stuff is almost like little clouds above our heads that are trying to direct us in ways that maybe aren't supporting our journey. And finding that time to find out who you are, to come into yourself and to identify who you really are and what you really want to do is probably one of the greatest gifts, and one that we all struggle with. Even if we start to get close to it, we get pulled away, and we have to continually, which is probably why our daily challenge with Doc V is to meditate, gratitude, follow that pattern every day so that we can calm back down, revisit who we are and where we want to go, so that each day we can start again trying to follow the path that is pure and close to our hearts. He did talk about like we are kind and compassionate hearts, and we have to identify things that we say to ourselves that we are not. We are not eating machines, and we have to stop saying that to ourselves. We are not bread machines. We are not chocoholics. We are not stress balls. We are not anxiety balls. We are not all those negative terms that we've attached to ourselves. We have to release them. We are not that. We need to let go of all those false labels, spend some quiet time and find out who we are. What are our dreams? What are our desires? What are the things we have hidden underneath that we aren't? Oh, good morning, Upendra. I didn't notice you popped on. So you want to revisit who you are and reword it in a way that supports your journey. I think that I always thought that I was being arrogant if I was talking positive about myself. So I always kind of came at things under the radar. And I realize now that that allowed me to fall into places of failure and thinking that that was how I was supposed to be, that I wasn't good enough. And I think the best gift we can give ourselves is to realize that we are good enough, and we need to build our self-confidence so that we can reach the gifts that we were given, so that we can achieve the levels of success that are available to us, so that we're not hiding under the radar. And some of the statements that I wrote down for this particular day about who am I is I am joyful and I am energetic. I am athletic. And I'm not going to say I'm like the typical athletes, but if I put my mind to something, I can achieve things. My mom and I are still walking outdoors every morning. We did it a couple hours ago now, actually. I can ride a bike. I can train for an organized bike ride and complete it. I can train for local 5Ks and 10Ks. So we have to start accepting that there are terms we can attach to that, and they're acceptable. We don't have to be the extreme to own that label. All we have to be doing is working on that label. And even myself, it's not comfortable to say it, but you know what? We need to start owning those. I am a success. I will achieve. I'm never giving up on myself. We need to start looking at how we're talking to ourselves, use the gifts and use the tasks that Doc V's given us so that we can grab on, release the negative self-talk, release the things that are blocking us so that we can open up and achieve. I know even myself, I've been thinking about what has happened, like even in being part of the challenge and recognizing that I have a bunch of my own blocks. And what I realized is that before I had surgery, I'd closed a lot of doors. I had a lot of dreams that I just felt probably weren't going to ever be achievable. So I kind of closed them, and I joke that I put up brick walls and that I just considered them gone. And through the course of using the meditation, using the positive self-talk, working on the confidence, working on the self-worth, those walls started to come down. And now working with Chris Noggle and his team, and working with Doc V, and getting myself involved in these activities that are probably things I never would have reached out to before, are allowing me to open myself up to new avenues, to see new things that I can achieve and do. And the gift that I want is, as I learn these things, I want to share them with the people in my life, because I know that the only person I can change is myself. And I want to change because it's like opening, they talk about horses' blinders. It's like opening the blinders and seeing a whole world out there. I want to experience as much of it as I can. And then for those who want to learn, I want to share as much as I can. Staying engaged in the journey is exciting if you look at it as being excited. Learning something new, I've always found to be exciting. Reading, learning. It's almost like if you start to learn, you can start to live a different life. And then ultimately what happens is it becomes your life. At first it's just an idea of what would be an amazing thing, or an amazing thing somebody else lived. But the more you experience it and the more you connect to it, the more it can actually start to become a version of your own life. So use the tools that Doc V has presented to us. Who are you? Take that time to gratitude journal, to slow down and meditate, and come back to who you are on the inside, so that you can clear all the outside fat filters and the outside negative talk and the outside woe is me world stuff, and revisit where you can actually go in your life. It doesn't matter how old we are. As long as we're still here and we're still breathing, we can make changes. And I think when it sounds selfish to work on yourself, but what ends up happening is when you work on yourself and you make your life better, you influence those around you. I'll say I'm learning that just because Doc V challenged me to do these lives. Then he challenged me not to stop doing the lives. And I've had people reach out to me that it's meant something to them. I do it because it helps me. And the bonus is anybody else that can help, but it makes me feel good. And I hope that we all can take a minute today, calm down, release the monkey on our shoulder, let go of the thoughts that everybody else in the world may be thinking, and come back into who we are. who we are on the inside, so that we can break down any of the walls that we've built up, look back inside those doors of the dreams that maybe we have forgotten about, and start reaching for them. Because as you reach for the beautiful gifts that maybe you close the door on, you're going to find that there are people around you that will reach out to you because you helped them to remember a dream that they didn't remember. And that together we can all start walking paths, achieving things that we long since thought were forgotten. There's a lot out there. Get excited about life. Spend the quiet time to find out who you are and where you want to go, and start reaching out and looking for the avenues and the doors that maybe you accidentally closed at some point in the past. Enjoy your day. Have a beautiful day. I hope everybody is safe out there. I know I've been getting messages from my employer that our remote system isn't working. So I imagine we'll be up at any time. And I'm not in the area where all the storms are going on. So my thoughts and prayers are with everybody that is struggling on the East Coast. I hope that you're safe and that you get through all of this. And my best to you always. And we'll talk soon. Thank you.